With The Spies, the third season's penultimate episode, Mandalorian has truly excelled itself. One of the best and most exciting episodes of the Star Wars series to date, it features exciting action, moving character moments and a high-stakes atmosphere that permeates the whole show. Eli Kane checks in with Moff Gideon in the Coruscant alleyway via an Imperial probe droid in the episode's opening scene. While this brief scene will likely be forgotten by most viewers, it deserves recognition for its gritty Blade Runner undertones. The next sequence, featuring the Shadow Council, is alone worth its weight in gold. It's crazy, but this scene contains so much build-up for the Mandoverse's future that it makes you drool. Grand Admiral Thrawn's return is near. Captain Pylon, a significant legend's blast from the past, confirms. We already knew this because of the Ahsoka video that debuted at Star Wars Celebration over the weekend. It's wonderful to see this show continue to prepare the groundwork for his return in Ahsoka, where he'll probably be established as the primary antagonist for the entire Mandoverse. He's one of the smartest, most complex villains in the Star Wars universe. The excitement for the Heir of the Empire's live-action premiere is building perfectly. In addition, Brendol Hux appears in the scene, providing an amusing nod to the sequel trilogy. Even if it's the most obvious connection to the movies, he is even portrayed by Brian Gleeson, who is the brother of General Hux actor Domhnall Gleeson. Of course, we're referring to the Project Necromancer, which refers to its Imperial efforts to bring back Emperor Palpatine. It is now apparent how the Mandalorian will fill the void left by these three trilogies. With that said, the most important information revealed in the covert meeting with regard to the show is that the Empire is hiding out as a group of dispersed, unorganised remnant warlords, and that Gideon persuades his allies to give him control of the resources, specifically Patreon guards, another nice connection to the sequels, in order to prevent the Mandalorians from retaking their homeworld. Moff Gideon once again demonstrates his mastery of playing the most dreadful antagonist in the room, as Gideon's formidable intelligence and might are on full show here. It's wonderful to have him back in the programme at last. The Night Owls and Children of the Watch then become the centre of the episode as they engage in an awkward standoff on Navarro. Since the opening sight of A New Hope, simple yet potent imagery like the light cruiser with the Mandalorian signet written on its belly hanging immensely above the city has remained one of the most influential elements in Star Wars films. Additionally, the ominous tribal drums are a subtle sign of the conflict between two tribes. The two Mandalorian tribes' conflicting ideologies are not specifically discussed in this passage. The conflict is clearly expressed, but they never truly express it verbally, which is actually the ideal for this episode's objectives. There are more important matters at hand, namely the Mandalore scouting expedition. There is no need to get bogged down in this philosophical weeds. Din and Grogu visit Greef Karga before leaving, and he gives them the IG-12 that has been modified by the Anzellan. Early in the season, IG-11's comeback was teased, thus this resurrection that never truly happened may not be what most fans hoped or anticipated. But perhaps it'd be wiser to maintain the permanence of Season 1's sacrifice. Grogu and Din are actually featured quite heavily in the episode, which is always the show's best interest, despite the episode's incredible amount of action and plot twists. When Grogu is included in the battle scenes, the stakes and sense of urgency are always raised, and the joke with the yes and no buttons is pure gold. Paz looks past his feet to the earth, thousands of feet below, in a point of view as the heroes land on Mandalore, and it's so believable that it makes your stomach drop. To help convey the enormity of it all, the show's artists and cinematographers always do a terrific job of combining weighty visual special effects, large images with close shots like these, and the effects is used to great success. A moving character moment that further reveals Bo-Katan's complexity occurs when the group discovers the Night Owl survivors, and she tells them that she gave herself up to Gideon before the Purge. Din's promise to assist her in her role as the head of the tribes is a wonderful approach to elevate her to a status of co-protagonist. and is advantageous to do so since it provides us another hero to cheer for while maintaining Din's mystique. Although the brawl between Paz and Axe Wolves on the ship is only marginally funny, Grogu's involvement in the events is a wonderful touch. He can now be a more effective aid in combat thanks to IG-12, but what's more intriguing is that he has a new way to use his empathy, which Din acknowledges to Bo-Katan is entirely instinctive. Alternatively, it originates from Grogu's time spent with the Jedi. The primary event of what has thus far been a fantastic television episode is the battle between the Mandalorians and Beskar armored Dark Troopers in the Great Forge. This outrageous, epic action at its best, from the bloody crossfire in the TIE hangar to the amazing battle in the corridor, Moff Gideon delivers the sentence, "Mandalore will live on in me," with the characteristic snarl of Gideon in a deliciously disgusting low blow. The Mandalorians are now firmly under Gideon's control, and there is some intense tension between the two that is only going to explode up sooner rather than later. Everyone is in grave danger, even a captured Din, which is undoubtedly an excellent way to start the season finale. The episode concludes with Paz Vizsla's fittingly brutal and poetic last stand, as if it weren't already wild enough. He adhered to the way all the way to the end, and he had the honour of dying in the battle on sacred Mandalorian territory. He is killed, taking on 3 Praetorian guards bravely, but before his death, he took on an entire squadron of upgraded Imperial jump troopers, an epic conclusion for a fearless Mandalorian. What a fantastic way to end such a near-perfect spectacle. The last episode promises to be an exciting ride. Like and subscribe. Until the next time, on Star Wars InVader.